So we are with Keith McKinney, the Senior Vice President of New Home Star. How you doing today,
I'm
Keith?
good, man. Trying to stay cool in this summer, but it's been nice for us, so I'll take it.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like if you can stay cool at least some part of the summer, that's a win.
Yeah,
In any way you slice it, and then kind of like we talked about, eventually it'll be a new season, and we'll be talking about that. So,
yeah, for sure.
um, well, I know you've been with New Home Star since the early days. Tell us, what New Home Star does, what, originally drew you to the company, and then what's kept you energized through its growth from, six people to over 500 now.
Yeah. So New Home Star, we're I used to say national. Now I have to say international sales and marketing company for new home builders and developers. And what New Home Star will do is we will come and partner with those home builders and developers and really become their sales solution, become their sales engine for them, with the level of expertise and just institutional knowledge that we have. And then that allows our partners to do what they do best, which is a lot of times in land operations and building operations and fine tuning that side. And then it allows us to do what we do best, which is all the engineered systems we have created through the years of sales management and sales operations within the new home construction residential arena. So when you put those two together, it really makes a symbiotic relationship that works really well. And so we've had a lot of success with builders that jumped on and saw the vision along with us. And over time, that's just kind of built us to where today we're the largest private seller of new homes in America. So it's yeah, from zero to I'm not sure I want to say hero yet, but we think we're on our way to earning our cape, so to speak.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, and for you to be able to see it come from the early days of, I think it was 2008. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, a great time, Jacob, to start a new home sales company.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
what like that's a lot of times that's the number one question, like what were you guys thinking?
Yeah.
And it was just man, it was wrapped in a belief. It was wrapped in a belief that there was a better way and a better system and a more complete way to give people a good career, but also provide a excellent service to the industry in a way that the industry had never seen before. And Dave Rice, the founder of New Home Star, that was kind of his plan from the very beginning, was to set us on a course to where now it's a regular term, but in 2008 to put us on a course to disrupt the industry, and we're making strides to do this, just that.
Yeah, I mean, in 2008, the industry needed a disruption, to say the least,
Well, it disrupted itself, Jacob.
It's valid as well.
uh,
Um,
yeah.
that's funny. Well, and so just talking on that same note, I mean, how has New Home Star's vision evolved since that time? I mean, especially as kind of you and I spoke about before, as tech and,
Yeah.
AI have started transforming the
Yeah.
industry. I mean, what have you seen from that evolution?
Yeah, what's really cool, Jacob, is right off the bat, based on my explanation of what we were doing, our vision statement was to build the best new home sales team in the world. And I remember there was a day, and we got to coordinate our schedules better. It was a day way back when I showed up to our corporate office, and so did Dave. And normally, when we go to the corporate office, he gets pulled in one direction, I get pulled in one direction, and we're trying to help out the different departments. But on this day, I showed up, walk around the office, and he showed up, he walked around the office, and we both ended up in the kitchen, and we were kind of just looking at each other. I'm like, well, nobody out there needs me. And he's like, yeah, they don't need me either. And we went to lunch, and I mean, that was our aha moment, that we're no longer building the best sales team in the world. Now our vision has to be a sales company, because suddenly we went from six guys in a room to having an HR department, a marketing department, a recruiting team, a legal department. Like we actually had a company that all was rallying together. And so that shifted us to our changing our mindset over to build the best new home sales company in the world. And so through that company, now fast forwarding to today, we have a tech department. We have a technology department that focuses on AI, and we are making some extremely progressive, forward thinking programs and systems so that way we can utilize tech and AI inside of our own space. And that started years ago when we built the industry's first tech enabled sales management platform to deliver sales training and manage salespeople. And so that just continues to move from here.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think you and I spoke about it the other day. It was just, if you're not incorporating some form or fashion of AI into your systems, your processes, your thinking power at this day and age, I mean, you're going to get left behind. And, that's, and it's evolving day in and day out. There's always some new tool. There's always some new, way that you can go about it. And it sounds like you guys have, invested in that thought process, really not only just seeing like the vision of where you can go, but seeing like, hey, like there's endless opportunity here to see and really get us to become from that, I don't want to say zero, but the zero to hero status. And how can we keep evolving the company in that kind of regard, which is really cool to hear.
I told somebody yesterday, I said, where we are in terms of AI is the CD disc in the music space. And I mean, I remember when CDs came out, and I was one where I held on to my cassette tapes for as long as I could, because that was what I was used to. That's what I grew up on. My cassette tapes is how I got
tried and true method, right?
Yeah, that was how I had my music. Plus, I had a whole library of cassette tapes. And what you're telling me, I can't use my cassette tapes anymore. And so I rebelled against it for 2-3 years until they stopped making cassette tapes. They stopped making the apparatuses to play the cassette tapes, and you were forced to make the conversion to the new thing. And I think AI is the same way. We're at that same point where you can hold on to your old Google search, your old ways of handling the internet and getting information. You can keep doing that, but sooner or later, the system is going to force you to move over. And if you wait and wait and wait, you're going to be left behind and you're going to be late. And though most businesses can't afford that, because being late in business means you're going out of business. So so making that transformation could not be more valuable or more prudent than right now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and I'm always curious because I've had a lot of conversations that are on a similar kind of scope, in the sense of like, what was the tried and true method of what we had done and what we had planned in terms of our growth plan and growth strategy. We had to not throw out the window, but really amend in a way that we're able to adapt this new method of learning, of just business in general. Or like you said, we're going to be left behind, and in business, that's a tough place you want to be. I am curious, I mean, as you guys keep scaling, what's been the toughest challenge in getting that AI and automation adopted across such a large and fast growing team?
I think what every business is going to struggle with. Our tech team is fantastic. So, and so they are literally actively engaging with putting us on the cutting edge of it. But once it's done, AI still is a user-based tool. So AI is only going to be as good as the user using it is pushing it to be. And
Hmm.
so getting the adoption from our staff and from our employees, which is literally what we spent the past 4 days doing at our sales rally.
Yep.
The whole theme was called shift, and the whole thing was shifting your mindset to this new way, and getting the whole company to rally behind that. And I honestly, that's going to be our biggest thing, is getting the whole company to shift that way, and then get them to execute. It's one thing to say, okay, yeah, that's a great idea, but you got to go do now. And so, as an executive team, we're working on fun ways. Of course, you can have the hammer and say, you're going to do this or not work here. But that's not our culture here at New Homestar. We like to lead with love and lead with accountability as well. And so
Hmm.
we're coming up with contests. We're coming up with all the creative ways that you galvanize and encourage and motivate people to see how this change, this shift will be so beneficial for them in their career, and how things go for them in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, I mean, one of the things I was going to ask you, and you kind of touched on it briefly, but you talk about you can have all these systems, you can have all these processes, these ideas of where AI can take us, but you have to execute on them. And
Yeah.
on that same notion, I mean, I'm curious as like, the SVP of the company, I'm sure every week something new comes out that could change your strategy. I mean, how do you decide which innovations are worth adopting and which ones, to wait on?
Yeah. It's luckily it's great when you have a leader like Dave Rice, because he is a forward thinker. And so we have a clear vision of where we see, and it's progressive, where we want to be 5 years from now. And so once you have that vision, yeah, like if you take a long road trip, you know what your end destination is, but you're going to encounter some rain, you're going to encounter some sunshine, you're going to have to stop for gas, you might get a flat tire. Like, there's all these things that are going to happen on the way. But as long as you know where you're headed, you stop, you deal with those things, fill it up with gas, change your tire, get back on the road, and you keep going. And I now with AI, we think AI is a way to make, when you have to have those bumps and those things that happen, just
Bruises. Yeah.
bruises, like
Yeah.
potholes that happen naturally on the journey. AI is going to help shorten the length of those stops dramatically, and give you a process in a way that you can continue to move faster. I don't want to give any shout out to some company, but I just found the program where it helps you, the AI program that helps you read your email, and put your email, and
Analyze.
yes,
Yep.
analyze it and puts it in folders and makes drafts of your reply. That way, all you got to do is go in and say, "Yep, I like that one," and send. That's game for me, as somebody who gets,
Oh my God.
oh my God, that was like,
Yeah.
that was game changing. And I'm like, okay, new rules.
Yeah.
this is
Right.
this is the way. I got it.
Yeah. I love that thought because it's like, if you try to put too much on your plate, or if it's not even too much on your plate, but if you try to bring on every new idea and every new thing that's possible out there, it's going to convolute where you want to be 5 years from
Exactly.
now. So it's like, my girlfriend always tells me, like, if we have a deadline of a time that we need to be doing something, we work backwards from it.
Right.
And that's something that stuck with me, because if we need to be somewhere at 6:30, okay, where do we need to be by 5:30? Okay, what does that mean we need to do by 4:30? And
Right.
so it's the same thought in business, is like, if we have that 5-year plan of where we want to be, we can't just start going a million miles a minute and hope that, oh man, maybe we push that way past that, because you're going to end up doing too much that's going to hinder your actual goal at the end of it, more likely than not. And so it's like, how can we work backwards in that, which I love to hear that. Where do you guys want to be 5 years from now?
5 years from now, we are moving more to a platform business model. And what's happened over the years is we've increased the availability of all the services that the industry has seemed to have value in. So we now have a OSC, online sales concierge
Mm-hmm.
department. We have a training and development department that can push out sales training, and we have a couple of sales trainers that are now traveling. We have a research and analytics department, and these were all things that we did for our operation internally. But we had so many builders and so much desire from all the other builders saying, hey, we want some of that too. And we're like, no, we're going to keep it for ourselves. And we finally hit the point where we kind of made it a la carte, and we are now farming it out. And we're up to an additional 50 builders in the past year have joined
Wow.
into our universe by utilizing our services. And we anticipate we'll be up to 200 within the next couple of years. So when you start looking at, when I think I mentioned that our brain trust and all the knowledge, that the knowledge bank that we have access to by working with so many different builders, now where you're going to use the power AI to collect everything that we're learning into
Mm-hmm.
one brain, one AI brain. And now you ask that brain a question about the new home industry, it's going to have over 200, 300 builders of knowledge to pull from and give you smart, accurate answers. So
Wow.
if, yeah, I know, how the AI is, the
Sure.
intelligence community is forming. And so we're like, man, if we get to the point where we're pulling all this together, we're gonna have a system that can literally help you with any sales related problem at all. And
Wow.
so you fast forward to 5 years from now, we think that that platform of business has grown dramatically, and it's opened up doors for all these different departments. It lets people inside of our company have space to see their careers move up and get promotions and new
Yeah.
titles and branch out. And so it gives something for everybody to be excited about, because that growth is just magical for everybody to see. And all AI is doing is powering us to get there faster. And
Yeah.
we just got to be smart and utilize it right. And that's why, to your question, we're trying to do exactly that. We want to use the right things that
Yeah.
get us there in the right way.
Well, it sounds like you guys are kind of thinking of it twofold, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like the one hand is, for the builders that we do bring on, for our customers, we want to implement services that are going to help them to get where they want to be quicker, first of all, and help them in terms of their long-term goals and outputs and things like that, but also internally in terms of your own processes and things that you guys are focused on there. I mean, do you guys have things that you're working on right now that's trying to help to automate just your own internal processes in the sense of, like, outreach to potential new builders? I know you have the big brain trust that's kind of the
Yeah,
goal and the thing that we're
yeah.
getting to, but is that also kind of the thought, is like, how can we lean on different departments using these tools that could help to make their lives easier while we still try to build that overarching piece that's going to bring on new clients, but help them to get to where they want to be as well?
Man, absolutely. Like, absolutely. And that's what we had workshops over the past week, where you would go in and sit in this workshop. And too often you go to conferences and they're like, oh, this is the program and it does this. It's going to be awesome. Like, I'll send you the PowerPoint deck, but it doesn't literally tell you, like, you still got hours of work to go try and figure out how to make it work. And we had
Yeah.
workshops where people had their phones out, they had their computers out, and it was step by step. Now, here, do this, and now put in your situation. And they were able to, at least for a second, see how it worked real time. And in
Hmm.
their mind saw the possibilities. And I think that's the key. and getting people to shift their mind to get all in. You just got to show them a glimmer of what it can do so that way they
Yep.
can see the possibility. Once they can see the possibilities, they'll go running towards it. Once they know what their mind starts telling them what they think is possible. And so that's
Yeah.
what we did this week, is just give them some exposure to all the things it could do for them. And the number one thing we focused on was time saving. Like, how can you take the administrative tasks that overpower your day and make those automated to where it gives you those hours back to go really do some revenue producing activity?
Well, and that's one of the things I was going to ask you is like, if there was one part of your AI implementation that could, completely run on autopilot, I mean, which part would free up the most time or create the most lift for the team?
I would probably tell you the follow-up piece. The follow-up piece, because a lot of times in sales, especially in new home sales, you have this
Hmm.
bank in your CRM, or this bank, a large stack of registration cards. And, despite all the technology, you're kind of still in the communication business. Like, you got to
Yeah.
reach out to people, and people need to hear from you.
Yep.
And so, but sometimes salespeople, they get in their own head and, oh, I'm not sure if I should reach out to these people. And we try to train up, like, you never know what's happening on the other side. But it's a human, it's a human being thing. Like, it's not that
Right.
somebody's a bad salesperson. They actually think they're being a good human being by not disturbing this other
Yep.
person. But you got to be in sales and disturb them anyway. So yeah,
Yes.
it's a
It's a give
dichotomy
and take.
between, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
give and take. So but we think AI, if AI can do a little bit of that follow-up procedure first, so that way
Hmm.
it starts the process and then the salesperson just has to finish it. I think that goes a long way. If AI can start sending text messages ahead of time, hey, and we haven't seen this. We've only seen AI try to communicate a whole conversation. Well, we think that's jumping the gun a little bit. So what if AI said, hey, are you available later today at 3 o'clock? I have some things I want to run by you. And if the AI can get the commitment for that, now the
Then the
sales
human
now the
can
human
step in.
interaction can
Yeah.
step in and really make an impact. And so
Yeah.
that's one of the things. You don't make me give away all the juice, Jacob, but like, that's one of the things that on how we're thinking differently.
Yeah.
Because I think we're all frustrated sometimes when we call someplace and you're like, I'm talking to an AI bot. And I
Yeah.
mean, and that AI bot will not let you get to a human.
Nope. No, it's I was looking for I moved into a property, an apartment a few months ago, and when I was touring, I had to call over to different places, and one of them was an entire AI bot. And the whole conversation, it wouldn't let me off the phone for like 10 minutes. It just kept going and going and going, and it was repetitive in some of it. And I get the gist of it. Like the idea behind it is good.
Yep.
Rather than hiring another person because there's too much bandwidth, you can actually use this AI agent. I do understand that. But is that human component, whether it's in going and finding new places to live or whether it's with follow-ups from a sales opportunity, people appreciate the human touch. And I've always, I don't want to say struggled with it, but I've been in sales for 15 years at different
Yeah.
companies and different industries, and it's always that like, okay, am I being too persistent? Like
Right.
what's that happy medium here to where I can know that I'm doing my job but I'm not bugging them. And
Yeah.
as the time's gone on, I've erred on the side of like they had the conversation with me, I'm not bugging them. But it is kind of that like how can we make that more effective while also keeping that human component? It's tough because you can't do AI for everything.
No.
You still have to have the human piece for people to that human connection is what builds partnerships and builds
Yeah.
relationships, whether it's in business or personal life. So um no, that makes a lot of sense. I'm curious, what part of your job, your work, what energizes you the most?
Man, I will tell you from the very beginning, we wanted New Home Star to be different. We didn't in the new home industry. A lot of companies are only focused on the end goal, no matter what, and that's profit and revenue. And the one thing that's always been a sacrifice in our industry, unfortunately, has been people. And from the very beginning, we never wanted to be that. And we have always put our people first. Okay. Like, and listen, going out of business is not putting your people first. So we never, and I want to preference that we always did what we needed to do and made smart decisions in terms of business. But within those decisions, we always had a picture of our people, and they had to be part of any decision that we made. And we started in 2008, and all the thing, no bank would give us any money, no investor was giving any money to a new home sales company starting in 2008.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
like there was no's, all we heard was no's, but it was good for us because it taught us how to be good stewards of the revenue we did get. And today we stand 100% liquid, no debt, no, we carry no investors. We do what we want, how we want, how we want to do it. And we, and at the forefront of that is we take care of our people. And
Yep.
I will tell you what allows us to get this far is that we have people that genuinely and truly want to be here, and we didn't even know we were being judged and ranked, but in 2018, out of 400,000 companies, we were voted number 2 company best places to work on Glassdoor. And
That's amazing. Wow.
that, and for a sales company in a sales environment that's normally attached to high turnover and all the things that comes with running a sales organization, it was really an aha moment for us to realize and actually even be more dogmatic that we are doing some things right, and we need to work hard as we grow to protect those things that we believe to be true, because it is harder as you grow. You get more people, and that data set of more people, you get more of everything. So how do you protect the culture that you want as you get older and you grow bigger? And so if I had to say that, that's a challenge that
Yeah.
that I believe in, and that I spend all of my days in conversations, whether it's training, whether it's sales operations, whether it's HR, whether it's marketing. It all, for me, my job is look at it through the lens of how do we protect this culture, all of our people, so everybody has an excellent career.
Yeah, man, I love that. It sounds like just the vision is people centric, because at the end of the day, you can build the best processes, you can build the best models, everything that can be put in place. But if you have the wrong people, things can get things can get stagnant and things can go south quickly. And that's one of the
Absolutely.
things that I've learned at different companies is culture is very important to me.
Yeah.
I've left companies specifically because the culture just wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel empowered. I didn't feel supported. And, for you guys to, especially like you mentioned, like a sales company to hit number 2 on Glassdoor, that's impeccable.
Yeah.
So that means a
Thank
whole
you.
lot. All right. One last question for you, because I always, fellow sales folks, I'm always curious. It's kind of a twofold question. What is your way that you stay the most energized? Is it coffee? Is it energy drinks? Is it just running by the seat of your pants? And then
Yeah.
second question, coming into fall, do you have a fall or winter favorite drink? Are you a pumpkin spice guy? Are you a hot
Ooh.
chocolate guy?
Oh, um, answer the first question. I get energized. That's kind of easy for me. I'm energized by music. I
Love that.
music will put me in the vibe that I need to be in. So when I work out in the morning, so it's always high octane, like Imagine Dragons, like something that's ready. Let's get it,
Yeah,
juiced up, depending on what mood I'm in. But you catch me at the end of the day, dude, I want to sit out by the waterfall and put on some like instrumental hip hop and just veg out and just create a whole new like lounge vibe and chill out and let your mind, let your mind settle in. So I'm a vibe guy, so that's what energizes me based on my environment, and I kind of go from there.
absolutely. I love that. I
Yep.
love that.
And
Um,
and I would say that, dude, I am such I still remember the day I had my first chai flavored latte. And so I am a chai flavor, it could be tea, latte,
Connoisseur.
connoisseur, dude. A
Yeah,
coffee that has some chai in it. I am just I love that's kind of my flavor, is especially once it starts to get warmer. Oh man, yeah, yeah. And then I added something to it. If you haven't done it, chai latte with a little bit of honey. Oh my God, that was a
oh
game
God,
changer.
that sounds incredible. My
Oh man,
brother's huge into chai. That yeah, man, there's been a couple times where I've definitely felt like, man, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing with the coffee. I need to go the chai route because it does taste better. I will tell you
it.
that
Oh
much.
man, I'm gonna tell you.
So, well, cool. Well, hey, really appreciate the time, Keith. Again, New Homestar is newhomestar.com, right? That's
Yep,
the
that's
that's
it.
the website.
That's it.
So for any of our audience that wants to go take a peek at what Keith and the team are up to, that's a good way to find them. So Keith, thanks for the time, and we really appreciate you hopping on here.
Yeah, thank you, Jacob. Appreciate it.